I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that I think that she did want me to stay. I feel like that she was sad. I feel like that she had this idea when she came in the family of, this big plural family. I really think that. But then things were not matching up either,
Yeah.
and I got that from Cody too. It's like things, there was a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Let's just say there was just a lot of confusion.
Do you Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, July 29th, 2024. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. The third part of the interview with Meri Brown on the Sarah Fraser show dropped today. And Meri talked about the barn dominium. She talked about her breakup with Cody and whether or not she still speaks to Cody and Robyn. And I shared in the first clip that you just heard that she was asked whether or not Robyn's feelings about her leaving, were the tears real? Do you think she really wanted a sister wife? And Meri said, I think so. I mean, I think when she initially got into the family, that's what she wanted. But over time, that didn't really match with what she was doing or what she saw. And she is being really careful. And I think it's interesting because she doesn't want to get back together with Cody or Robyn. I guess it would be a throuple at this point, right? But she still doesn't want to openly say that Robyn joined the family only to be with Cody. And she doesn't want to acknowledge that Robyn might have been playing her the whole time in order just to get Cody isolated from her. Although she seems to be getting a little bit more awareness that perhaps Cody and Robyn were playing her. And she even spoke about the conversation that she had out on the property where Cody and Robyn were talking nonsense. It's kind of the first time she's even gone there. So I feel like we're getting a little bit closer to Meri starting to wake up to the concept that Cody and Robyn were playing her and that she was being played and that she's finally done.
I mean, I've seen them on occasion and talked and texted a little bit, but it's not. I'm in this place where I'm moving forward with my life. And they were, there's aspects of my life that they still need to be involved in, but my day to day is my best friend, and my day to day is my people that are helping me to move forward, and I don't want to interact with people that are not helping me to move forward.
Here's the thing about leaving a cult. When you leave a cult, you need to have the freedom to be able to move forward in your life. And interacting with people that are still under the influence of the beliefs or still ascribed to some level of the beliefs, whether it's Robyn or Cody. I think at this point it's probably mostly Robyn, but I do think that Cody to a degree still is into Mormonism, and I think he would still have wives if they hadn't left him. So I think what I think she's saying is that they're not going to help her move forward. And I also think that when you look at how the cult works and how the manipulation works, a lot of the narrative that was spoken when any one of the women wanted to do something for themselves, it was like, well, they're going to just take you away from us. You're going to leave us. You're going to go into the world, right? If you go out and get a job or if you go to school, you might wake up and see the things, you might want something different, right? And now that she has something different, I feel like if she were to go back to Robyn, Robyn would still probably be like, well, now that you're out in the wicked world, is it okay? I mean, wouldn't you rather be here with us? Wouldn't you rather be with the anointed, with those that are the chosen? Wouldn't you rather help us create a world full of spirit babies and a celestial kingdom? Don't you want your celestial kingdom, Meri? They're always trying to get people to come back. And so I think she would almost need to have boundaries where she doesn't want to get drawn back into that life. And if you're comfortable and have grown up in that life, it's easy to fall victim to going back. It's harder to stay out of it than it is to go back to it, because going back to it is going back to what you know and what's comfortable. And it's uncomfortable out in the wicked world. So I think she's smart to have those boundaries. Now, she also talked about her conversation with Cody.
And there were things that I wanted to bring up and I wanted to be talked about, and they were. And then also there were things that he was like, said some really silly things. And I'm like, really? Really? You know, and it was just so obvious, you know, and like the thing about like, well, I could fake it. You know what I mean? It's like, but why? You know, and Robyn being like, are you okay with this? Like this breakup? I'm like, yeah, like why wouldn't I be? I'm not going to sit here and force myself. But I also deserve to have those things said to me, you know, so I kind of made that happen.
Yeah.
And what he was saying to you didn't match.
That's true. He was saying different things then.
Meri made clear in the same podcast that there is absolutely no possibility that she will ever reconcile with Cody at all. And she says Cody says silly things out there like he can fake it. And Robyn says, are you sure you're okay with this? And I remember when they said those comments to her, Cody had been faking these relationships for a long time. And I sometimes wonder if part of it is the duty to the faith, right? But also they have a show that was built around the premise of polygamy and a man with 4 wives and everything that they're going through and what that all looks like. And if she leaves and she's the last one to leave, that show goes away, right? So is Cody saying, I'm willing to fake it so we can go on with the show? You know what I mean? And then Robyn being like, are you okay with this? So from a show perspective, they're trying to manipulate her in that. And then they're also trying to manipulate her because they want her money. So he's willing to fake things with Meri so he can still have access to her money. But then also, when it comes to the faith side, Cody doesn't believe that a wife just gets to decide that their marriage is over because they've had a covenant, which he doesn't believe in. He gets to decide if the covenant is real or not and if it's eternal or not. And he gets to decide based on their behavior now if they've actually, you know, been good with the covenant and not broken the covenant. And he is adamant that Meri broke the covenant, not him, right? But Cody wanted to fake it because he didn't want the public perception of being a failed polygamist, because his entire ego was built upon the fact that he was a polygamist and he had these 4 wives and he didn't want to have more backlash. So Meri is still very delicate in how she describes what happened. And I think a part of that is she might still not fully comprehend what happened, or she won't say what happened due to contractual obligations, and maybe this will get discussed in the new season. Maybe not. I don't know. She said that they still have places in their lives where they're still connected. The show. That's one place. Cody also has a child with Meri, Leon. I don't know to what extent Leon's relationship is with Cody or with Robyn. I would highly doubt they have much of any relationship because Cody isn't supportive of Leon's transition. So it all just sort of makes me wonder, where do things stand today? Why does she continue to hold back? It's clear she has boundaries, right? It's clear she wants to respect the boundaries of like, they're going to try to manipulate me to come back. I mean, I think for as much as Cody and Robyn were devastated about this breakup, to me, the devastation was more about like, well, now everyone's going to know that we were liars. Now that everyone's going to know that polygamy doesn't work, it's going to put egg on our face about polygamy. It's going to make everything that everyone said about polygamy look true. And I think because the way that the family was structured and the way that the family was together, it's like so many other polygamist families. There are so many women that are in these relationships that are completely put out to pasture and ignored and neglected by the patriarch. And it's just, that's how they're supposed to accept. That's what they're supposed to accept. They're supposed to accept that this is what it is because they're not going to be having children. The AUB teaches that the righteous way to have sex is only for procreation. And if you're going to be the most righteous and the most chaste, you would not have any sex outside of procreation. And so once a woman is no longer procreating, she accepts the fact that her intimate relationship ends with her husband if they're trying to be the most righteous. If they're not, they can still have sex. I've never known what Cody has thought about that. I don't think that he practices that personally. But I do think that when it came to his other wives, they were all done, right? He was slowly getting rid of those relationships. He claims he was still having one with Janelle, but who knows? I think they all kind of did a lot of lying about their sex lives, to be honest. And because they never talked about their sex lives, we'll never know because they refused to broach the topic. But I do think that the reality of what Meri, Janelle, and Christine were going through is the reality that so many women face in polygamy. And Sarah's interview, she's a very different podcaster than I am. She's very much like does the reality television. She's like pop culture. And this was more of a interview about her she's a fan of the show. And she's not necessarily looking at the harms of polygamy. She's not looking at and this isn't to dig on her. This wasn't what this interview was about. So it's more just like looking at the show for what it is and the family for who they are, who they claim to be, and not really digging in to how the cult contributes to all of this. There were a few times I wish she would have asked different questions, but I also understand that her podcast direction is totally different, so I can't fault her for that. I would have asked a few different questions. Like, I would have asked like where she stands in her faith. What are her beliefs today? Does she still believe polygamy works? But there wasn't really anything of that. And then Sarah kept saying that season 19 is coming up, but I keep checking on TLC's page and there's no notice that this is coming. And they have their TV schedule through September, mid-September on their website, and Sister Wives isn't on the schedule at all. So I don't know when season 19 is even coming. It's not coming in August, according to what's on TLC's website. And it's not coming at least into mid-September. Maybe the season doesn't start until the end of September. Maybe it doesn't come until October. McKelty made it seem like the show was coming in August or September, but I don't think that's the case. There's been no press release. To me, there's really no indication that it's coming back right now. So that also makes me wonder if when Garrison passed away, if everything sort of was scrapped and there was decisions made about what the show would be and what it would be moving forward. Like, because the show is so far behind, 2 years, would it make sense for the Sister Wives show to come back season 19 after his very tragic and very public passing with stuff that happened 2 years before that and with Garrison and Cody still fighting? And it's like, then it's the ghost of Garrison. And would fans be interested in watching that and what led up to that? Part of me just wonders, like, if they were actually filming during that period that he died, because I know they were filming right after. I wonder if they had been filming in the weeks before. I wonder if there was something that happened that we don't know about yet. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that we don't know about yet, but I just wonder if season 19 is getting delayed because of that. Because I would have assumed by now we would know when the series is coming back, and we don't. And like I said, on their website, it's not there. And Meri did strongly hint that the show is going to be eventually coming to an end. So I don't know. I think that Meri's experience in polygamy is very similar to a lot of people's. And I just got a notification today from Kristen Decker that her brother Jay Allred has a book that just came out, and it's out on Amazon. And I'm going to read it. I haven't read it yet. It's from his perspective of leaving the cult and his mistakes working in polygamy. It's called Unraveling Polygamy, My Path Out. And it's available on Amazon. And it's by Jay Allred. And it's about unraveling polygamy is his path because he was Owen Allred's son and his path of leaving a cult. And Jay Allred calls the AUB a cult. On the back of the cover, it says, Allred explains how his family joined the cult, leaving the mainstream LDS church to follow a group that still practiced polygamy. He describes the control of cult leaders, the constant fear of being caught by the authorities, and the impact on his family. His story includes significant events like police raids and the efforts to stop polygamy. Although deeply committed at first, Allred began to see the problems and unfairness in his beliefs and led him to make the brave choice to leave the cult. His journey to freedom was one of self-discovery, building new relationships, and changing his view of the world. His honest account offers a rare look into the hidden world, highlighting the strength needed to escape indoctrination. He was actually on the council of the AUB, and I was told by his daughter and by Kristen, he'll be talking a lot about in the book what led him to leave and all of the scandals that he witnessed and heard about. So if you're interested in the history, I think Jay's book will be a good place to start. You can check that out on Amazon. All right, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. When is season 19 coming? What are your thoughts about her relationship with Kody and Robyn today? Would you have one with them? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Bye, everyone.